Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 8, Episode 6, and today we play what is probably our final game in charge of the Republic of Ireland. We're having to choose between club and country, but we've got a job to finish first. We need to keep Ireland in Division B of the Nations League. So we're playing against Israel. It's winner takes all. The winner stays up and plays in the second tier again. The loser is relegated to the third tier. We're missing a couple of key players, but we're still optimistic. We could just about achieve something here with Ireland. We'll also review our time at Burnley. Obviously, we've played a couple more games since you were last with me, just to see how we're settling in at our new club. And then hopefully we'll start to see the progress being made towards our long-term goals, which I'm sure will be survival and making a fist of it in a championship with this side. But before we go and get into any of that, a massive thank you to everyone who continues to support the series and the channel in general. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, you can catch up with this season so far in the eye above. And if you're looking forward to this big international game today, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It makes such a difference to how the channel performs and I really do appreciate it. And hopefully we can get some good news with Burnley as well. Don't forget the next episode from this series, which will be of course on Tuesday now, is going to be a very important one for this series. It's basically the one that shows if we were right to leave or not. We'll be playing against Salford just before the January transfer window closes, and we'll also have deadline day with our new club and new director of football. So it's probably going to be a feature-length special and probably one of the most important of the series so far. Salford are starting to drop, we're starting to rise, and hopefully by that point we can meet in the middle. If you don't want to miss that or any of the other content on the channel, please subscribe and turn the notification bell on down below to get alerts as all the new episodes release. We've got our Dorking Wanderers One Club story, which continues on Monday, of course. We're just coming towards the end of our first season at a new level there. Yesterday was probably the biggest episode we've ever had in that series, so I'll put a link to that one in the eye above too. Please do go back and check it out. It was a special moment for me after 10 years of building. And then finally on Sundays, we've got our two new series continuing. Our FM20 Network career, which the second episode will be out tomorrow. The first time that we go head to head, myself and my fellow co-host Craig. And then at 4:30 on the same day, we've got the third episode of our Stadium Review series. In that one, we'll be looking at Birmingham/Coventry because it's St Andrews. Obviously, two tenants, which is a bit unusual for that at the moment. So we'll be talking about that ground, so please do come and get involved. And of course, the first two episodes are in the eye above. But let's go and focus on Burnley and Ireland. We'll get to Ireland in a minute and play our game against Israel. But of course, we played a couple more games with Burnley since the last episode. You're with me for our first two games at the club, both away from home, both ending in draws. You can see at the top there, we've drawn away to Middlesbrough as well. Another 0-0 on the road. That keeps them below us on goal difference. But we also had one home game, and I can confirm we won it. A 3-1 win against Crystal Palace. We were 2 up within 10 minutes. Owen Edmonds, after a little rest, back to form and doing well. Manu Garcia got a goal. Again, just sort of hit him 3 or 4 yards out. He had no idea what was happening. And Sunday Balogun late on, getting one on the break. He's starting to look like a proper player. We're still looking a little bit disjointed going forward. We've not quite found our rhythm yet. And I'm sure as November and December goes on, that will eventually happen. The team cohesion's good, but obviously our tactic isn't the most coherent with them. So they've been playing 2 up front. It's not as familiar. The familiarity's high, the intensity's not great. Let's see what's missing. So you can see there, the bits that are missing are the position, role and duty and the width. So the width is a key one for us. We've got a left winger trying to get balls in, overlapping fullbacks. Those things are crucial. And most importantly, the managerial support's average. As that creeps up, of course, the players are going to give a little bit more for us. They're going to give that extra 5%. They're going to stay that extra 10 minutes in training to practice something. And I'm sure as time goes on, we'll get it right here. But as an early start, we're unbeaten still with Burnley. 4 games, 3 draws on the road and a victory at home. I've got no complaints whatsoever. I'd probably have expected to lose one by now, so I think we're doing as well as we can be. Next up, we've got AFC Wimbledon and Cardiff at home. 2 pretty big games for us. Wimbledon, a bit like us with Salford earlier on, had a fantastic start to the season. They're just starting to drop now. And then who were the other ones again? It was Cardiff, wasn't it? Cardiff are just above us. So they're 2 very winnable games and the sort of ones that we've got to try and pick points up from. So I'd say if we can get 4 points from that, I'd be happy with the start. But of course, next time you come back, we'll find out if that's correct, because we'll be playing against Salford City, the end of the January transfer window. It's going to be a bumper episode. We'll also have about 12 games to reflect on as well. So it should be one of the biggest episodes of the series. Certainly action-packed, if nothing else. But let's go and focus on the Republic of Ireland. because it's possibly our last game in charge. It's been a bit of an underwhelming spell in truth. We've got a few players missing today. Luke O'Connell suspended. They're disappointed with some of the defeats we've had. They've also been disappointed with the results against the Czech Republic. But they've got loads of wonder kids, so I don't understand that. But at home to Israel is the one where we've really got a chance. They've got a few good players, but they're certainly not a better side than us. We beat them on the road 4-2 pretty comfortably. Troy Parrott got 2 of the goals, and he's going to come back in today despite being injured. So Adam Idar's going to drop out. He did have an okay game, I think, last time out. Did get a goal, actually, against Russia. But Troy Parrott is the man in this game, so he's going to come in. Will Ferry comes in as well, because Luke O'Connell's suspended. Luke Murphy and Fergus Peters are knackered. Peters made his debut last time round, but he's been replaced by Obafemi, whose suspension's ended. And then Dara Lenihan comes back in alongside Barry Dillon, although even there's a few tired legs, as you can see. The voice is starting to creak again, so apologies for that. But we've got a big game to focus on here. So let's go and see who the favourites are. It's us, both teams in poor form. We're on 4 points, Israel on 3. Very much 2 leagues within a league here. Russia and Czech Republic challenging at the top. Us and Israel trying to fight off relegation. So a point will do the job for us today, and we can consider this spell a relative success. So let's go and get into it. Here's our 11. Max O'Leary in goal. We've got Lee O'Connor and Ryan Manning at fullbacks with Dillon and Lenihan the centre halves. Obafemi on the right wing. Will Ferry coming in on the left. Charlie McCann alongside Jason Malumbi. And then Troy Parrott taking a risk with his fitness. Back up front alongside Aaron Connolly. And Adam Idar on the bench if we need it. So in we go. This is going to be a big game. Hopefully we can perform on the big stage. We've got 90 minutes left as Republic of Ireland manager. And it is imperative that we avoid relegation. So let's go and find out if we can. Here we go then. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Israel. A very attacking formation. We seem to catch them out on the breakaway from home. But I'm not sure that'll work as well here. So this is going to be a really tough test for us. We're going to assertively say we want a better performance in this one. And to be honest, we just want to get out of this unscathed. Our reputation will of course be harmed if we go down. We might even get the sack. We might not get to choose to leave. But I'd like to stay up and then we can just walk away and say, look, we haven't left you in any worse a position. We've given a few of the youngsters some good game time. The likes of Murphy and Dillon at centre half in particular. We've also given a debut to Fergus Peters, a young right winger. And a few others have worked their way in the squad too. So I'm not too disappointed. And to be honest, we've had a quiet 20 minutes, which suits me down to the ground. I say that as Israel come back with the ball. On the left-hand side, they're bringing it through the centre circle. Looks really comfortable running at us here. It looks like they must be twins because there's a centre mid and a left winger that have got exactly the same name, are roughly the same age. And one of them's charged through there. But thankfully, a shot goes comfortably wide. Or that could have been a very hairy moment for us. 25 gone, it's still 0-0. And at the moment, things are looking fairly comfortable. Goal kick for Israel. 5 minutes got to half time. Obafemi's lost out in the air from the goal kick, but Lee O'Connor gets it at right back. Cuts it inside to Malumbi. One of the biggest disappointments so far, but he finds Parrott on this occasion. Loses out. He just doesn't look fit. And here comes Shrieky again. This is the other one we talked about. Obafemi holds him up really well and forces him backwards. But Israel looks so comfortable on the ball. We're not playing well at all. The press isn't quick enough. And they're just playing round us. They're making us look silly. Lee O'Connor beaten there. Inside to the edge of the box. That's going to be a goal. Israel lead. It's one for the other. And that is absolutely awful. There's been no real threat at either end in this game. And we have suddenly got ourselves in relegation contention. So we're going to see this throw in. But we will go positive in the second half. Is McCann in the middle. All the way back to Dillon. There's no need for that either. Where does he go? He finds Malumbi. We need a moment of magic here. Have a go, why don't you? Just wide of the post. It was never really threatening the goal. And that has been a disappointing first half. One shot on target for Israel, but it was a good chance and a goal. So we're going to ask them where the passion is. Most of them motivated. We're going to go more positive, and we're going to go more attacking. What a spot of bother we've got ourselves in here. Into the second half, we'll give it 15 more, and then we'll start to think about what changes we can make. But I think we're running out of options quite quick here. Aaron Connolly's looking anxious up front. He's been poor as well in recent games. And we've reached the hour with no further highlights. We're creating nothing. I don't know why we're so poor creatively. We shouldn't be with the players we've got. Aaron Connolly's going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Adam Idar. I'm not sure which one's best in other roles. So Idar can play as a complete forward, as can Troy Parrott. So Parrott goes on complete forward on attack. We've not got many other options in terms of improving the team. And that's arguably where the biggest area of concern is. I'm just seeing if there's anything we can do tactically at all. And I really don't think there is. Focus play down the right or left. We're already doing that. Higher tempo, get it wide. We've tried putting early crosses on before. It's never worked. Run at the defence. Let's get that on. Counter press, distribute quickly and push further up the pitch. It's now or never if we want to get something out of this game and to keep our reputation as Island boss intact. Is O'Connor with a throw on the right to Adam Ida? Can the sub produce something special? Here's O'Connor again. We're going sideways rather than forward, but that's a nice switch of play. Here's Will Ferry trying to get to the byline. Two in the middle, he's got to find one. Obafemi's there and heads in. The goalkeeper was caught in no man's land, but we're back on terms. And we might have just spared our blushes here. We may have just saved our reputation with Ireland. It is 1-1 here with 25 minutes to go. As it stands, we go back up to third place. We push Israel back into the relegation spot. Ryan Johansson will come on in central midfield because Charlie McCann is looking nervous. We've got 15 minutes left, one more sub remaining. I'm not sure who it's going to be at this point. I think the fullbacks we're going to drop now. I know that playing for a draw against Israel is really poor, but we need to get the result here. So we're going to go back to what we were doing before. We're not going to overlap because the fullbacks are going to be more supportive. We'll try and hit early crosses now because that's where we can nick goals. And we're also going to drop that defensive line back. There's no need for us to be as quick in distributing. There's no need for us to counter press when we lose the ball. So let's just see if we can hold on now. 8 minutes plus stoppage time to go. One more time wasting sub if we need it. And Israel are on the attack. Cohen, the left back, takes it in. Vahaba down the line. Lenihan intercepts and clears. Good lad. Idar could have got on the end of that, but he didn't challenge for it. No idea why he didn't. Dylan hacks away. It's looking like last-ditch defending here. Into Shrieky. Great block. Great block by man in the left back. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Let's get the last sub on. I've no idea who it's going to be. Really, it should be a right back, but Malumbi's knackered. So let's bring Alan Brown on as the box-to-box midfield. A bit of experience in there. And we've just got to try and hold on for dear life. So we are going to time waste here and slow the pace down. I know it's awful. We should be trying to win this game. But we desperately need to stay up. It's our last game in charge. We've definitely got nothing to go. And there's 5 minutes of stoppage time. It's a ball down the right, but Obafemi intercepts the goal kick. Here he goes. Can we nick a winner? Obafemi into the box unopposed. Shoots. Good save. Wasn't really the strongest effort in the world. It was pretty tame. But it was a chance that we could have nicked it late on. As it stands though, the 5 minutes of stoppage time are up. We survive in Division B. It was not a good performance. It was not a good result. But 1-1 was enough, and we have kept our reputation intact. So we'll go and see what the review of that tournament is according to the board, and then we will be off and leaving the Island job. Full focus on Burnley, and let's see if that makes a difference for us. Okay, so we've not really had any board reaction here. We've played the last game. I'm just going to skip ahead one day just to see if something happens, and if not, we'll then tender our resignation. Right, I think I'm going to give up. We've reached Friday, and we've not yet had any news from the Island FA. Now, this is probably where international management's a little bit underbaked in this game for me. Because surely after you'd have a sort of end-of-campaign review, they'd want to talk to you about your performance, how you're getting on. So we're going to go and have a look and see what they actually think. The summary is C. The competition performance is C+. We're expected to finish a mid-table position in European Division Group B, and we achieved it because we didn't go down. They're disappointed with the matches because we lost some heavily, and they're disappointed with the tactic because we're not doing very well. We're conceding a lot of goals. They want to be defensively solid. So we've kept our reputation intact. Of course, the main benefit of joining Burnley was that we doubled our money. That meant that we could reduce our international job then. So you can see as Republic of Ireland boss, we're actually earning nearly 20 grand a week. As Burnley manager, it's 16.75. You can see our reputation has actually gone down slightly. So I don't know if the Ireland job's perhaps harming us. But we are, regardless, going to resign from the Republic of Ireland job. We kept them up. It didn't work out. We're not an international manager at this stage. And we are going to take charge of Burnley only. So there we go. The door opens for Stephen Kenny, who just quit the under-21s job, ironically. He could become the next Ireland manager. But we have left. We managed to survive. We left them in a lower place in the world rankings, but we kept them up in the Nations League group. So for me, job done. We did okay. Nothing special, but we did enough. That means we can focus entirely on Burnley now. We're 20th in the Championship. We're creeping up. We've got 6 points from 4 games and we remain unbeaten in charge. Salford are dropping towards us and we will be keeping an eye on them. And we're very close to Charlton as well. So that could be a little aim for the season on the side. Let's finish above the 2 clubs that we've left in the past, or one that sacked us and one we've left. If we go and have a look at the schedule, just as a reminder, we will be back in 2 months' time to face Salford on transfer deadline day in January. It's the transfer deadline weekend, and then the day after we will have deadline day. It is going to be an action-packed episode. We've got our new director of football from Plymouth, who we met in the last episode. He's going to have his first chance to impress. He's got loads of money, 5.5 million, now 6. The clauses keep going in. 250 grand a week available on the wage bill. There's 4 or 5 that have been transfer listed here, the likes of Wilson Manata. One actually left the club, which I forgot to mention briefly. It was one that there were offers for, and as soon as Dusnip joined, he accepted an offer. And that was this man, Sada Azmoun. He's gone on for 475,600 potentially, and he's gone over to Iran to play in the top tier there. So we wish him the very best, but one more sale out of the club, and that's where the transfer budget's gone up. I've just noticed the previous manager's record transfer this summer was Jarozinski, the backup left back, rather than someone like Sunday Balogun. I mean, that just shows where they were wasting money. Jamie Howes, who's he? Is he a 19-year-old? He's a young player. I don't recognise him. Where's he come from? Is he out on loan? He's at Bristol Rovers. That's why I don't recognise him. A striker who can't finish. Another good signing. But either way, we will be back for the Salford game at the end of January and the end of the transfer window. So probably a bumper episode coming on Tuesday. I hope you'll come and join me for it. A massive thank you for coming along and watching this one. If you did enjoy seeing our reputation just about survive with Ireland, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that performance, whether we made the right decision. I think taking the job was the right thing because obviously it led to a bigger reputation and opportunities to get jobs like this one. But of course we have got to contemplate whether leaving was right. I just didn't see the lads improving, and that's where I felt it was difficult for us. We weren't improving, we couldn't play a tactic that suited us, and the young players weren't getting much game time at their clubs. So all in all, I think it was the right thing to do. We've doubled our money club-wise, so it's a realistic move in terms of our finances, and we've got to think about dedicating ourselves to club football. So this is our opportunity now, and we are going to focus on Burnley for the rest of the season. Let me know in the comments what you would do if you were in charge. Any slight tactical tweaks you would make. We have got our left back from injury, so it means we've got a little bit more of aerial prowess now. That's going to be crucial for us defending set pieces. That's where a few of our conceded goals have come, so hopefully we'll be able to address that too. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content. We've got these 2 long-term stories from Monday to Saturday. This one and our Dorking Wanderers 1 club save. As I mentioned, yesterday was the biggest one in the series from that one. 10 years in and our biggest episode yet. So please do go and check it out in the eye above. We've also got our 2 Sunday series which continue tomorrow. Our FM20 network career, myself v Craig. The first time we play against each other. The 2 clubs, the 2 managers head to head. It will certainly be an interesting one. And then at 4:30 we've got our stadium review series. We continue with the 3rd episode, which is focused on St Andrews, the home of Birmingham and Coventry City at the moment. So please do come and let us know your opinions if you've ever visited the ground, if you're a fan of either of the 2 clubs. And of course you can catch up with the series so far in the eye above too. But a big thanks for watching this one and your continued support of the series and channel. I really do appreciate it greatly. And hopefully I'll see you next time for another big episode as we test our new director of football and find out if we were right to leave Salford or not.